Detective Sergeant Brinkley, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Got everybody gathered this morning to talk about a cold case we've been working on from 1978. This was a John Doe case that we've had for several years, and a recent development in the case is we no longer have John Doe. The man has been identified through DNA processes. This case began in 1978 in Pool Knobs Recreation Area up near Percy Priest Lake. The gentleman was found that morning by a maintenance worker where he had apparently been shot and set on fire and left for dead. The initial investigation struggled to try and identify this man, and it went on for many, many years. 2014, we began to seek some DNA alternatives, and subsequently wound up partnering with Rutherford Laboratories in Texas. We submitted some of his sample there. They was able to obtain a DNA profile, and through some genealogical research, we was able to find potential family members. I've reached out to those family members, and one in particular in North Carolina submitted a sample for comparison, and that comparison came back as the niece of John Doe. He has since been identified as Jessie Lee Williamson, born in 1926. So any help that we can get with this case from this point forward, because this is a new beginning now that we know who we're dealing with, would be greatly appreciated.
What do you know about the victim?
Born 1926, white male. Not a whole lot of history on him. We've only got the one relative that we've been speaking with. We do believe he was also in the Navy for some period of time. That period of time puts him eligible for having been potentially in World War II. Do not know exactly what his service records are there. Reaching out to the Veterans Hospital here to see if they may have some records that could be a reason he was in this area. From the understandings that we have right now, he was from North Carolina and also frequented some parts of Alabama. Reached out to Alabama, some representatives there trying to see if they've got any additional information on him in Alabama, and have not received anything back yet. That's led us in an additional investigative lead.
Considering the age of the victim and the age of the case, are you willing to go on record and say that you guys are willing to do anything to continue to seek justice?
We're always trying to seek justice for victims.
Is there any idea who the potential suspect might be in leads, maybe from back then?
There have been some leads followed up on as this case has progressed over the years, but as of now, there's not one particular person that we're really looking at. The identification of him has been the main priority that I've had for the past several years.
And what was it like notifying family? Was it
interesting? I'd already been in contact with the niece, and it was a pretty difficult journey there in itself because there's so many scams nowadays. When I reached out to this lady, she did not initially want to speak to me because of so many scams. So I encouraged her to confirm who I was telling her I was with the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office. And she did that and then felt more comfortable in talking to me. And then subsequently, she provided a sample. It was outstanding.
It took for this many amount of years, and then now you're able to put a name to it.
47 years, yeah. He's been without a name for 47 years as to us. To the family, they've always known and have wondered what happened to him, and now we're able to give them some of those answers.
Has there ever been a person of interest?
Sort of. There have been, as investigators have worked the case, there have been rumors come up, people talking, and things like that we would look into, but nothing substantive.
What has it been like for the department, having been this long and now you finally know who this person was?
It's exciting. It's fun to be able to learn this, and it shows the public that we never quit, that we're always going to keep looking for the answers.
Since it's been so long, are there any surviving family members that were close to this person?
The niece that I've been speaking with, she knew him, and that's the only surviving family member that I've been able to speak with that did know him.
So the niece is relatively old then?
Believe she's 85.
Have you worked with any of the original detectives in the case? And what was their reaction to finding out that?
I've only got to speak with one former detective that was working the case in around 2014 era or time frame, and just as excited as I was to be able to put a name to John Doe.
Is this a case they remember?
Oh yes, absolutely. He and I have actually stayed in touch. We're still good friends, and we talk quite often. And so it was one of the first phone calls after I notified family. I called him to let him know. So
The place that this happened, is it long gone? Or is
No.
it still there?
Pool Knobs Recreation area is still there. It's a very frequented area, open to the public still year round.
Did any other crimes have they committed there?
I'm sure they have.
What can you say about advancements in technology and how that's helped in cases like
Yes.
this?
The advancements in DNA are unbelievable in cases like this. Without that, we would probably still just be dealing with another John Doe case. I can't give Ortham enough credit. They've stuck with it and kept me updated throughout the years that I've been handling the case. And the case handler there, Michael Vogan, has been just fantastic to work with.
Of the 47 years, how many years have you been on the case?
I began investigating a little bit in the case around 2014. So for several years, I was not the lead on it until the last investigator wound up moving on to a different job, and I took over.
What is the hope now?
Would be great to find a suspect and move forward with that. But anyone that here can do the math on this can realize that we're probably dealing with some very limited time on even a suspect maybe still even being alive. But that's definitely, I want to learn more about Mr. Williamson. We're going to keep digging into his past and find out as much as we can about him.
Is there a message to community members who maybe knew this man, know something
Yes.
that would happen? What is just
Yes, anybody that knows anything about Jessie Lee Williamson, maybe even served with him in the military, knew him from another state, whatever, give me a call, shoot me an email, something, just reach out. But definitely like to talk about him. And if we could even just get more life story, that's as interesting as anything else.
Do we have pictures of the victim?
Absolutely. This is provided by the niece that is still living in North Carolina. And this is the first photo she sent me a couple of months ago. Try and hold these up where everybody can get a view of them. When she sent me that picture, it really got my hopes up. I've had my hopes up in the past, though, from other potential leads. But looking at the photos from the scene then and from the autopsy that was performed at that time, I had a really good feeling about these pictures that it could be him. And then one other in his Navy uniform. So again, would be a World War II era service member. So someone could have served with him that's still around. That brings up what I mentioned just then. It brings up another interesting fact that did occur during the investigation of this case. Several years ago, around I think 2014, we did a press release then, and a family reached out to us and thought it was their brother. So we began looking into that case as well, thinking that we may have a good identification for our John Doe. And turns out that it was not our John Doe, but doing some DNA work then, partnered with the University of North Texas, and they were able to get a DNA profile, enter that into NamUs, and it subsequently solved the identity of a John Doe murder in Florida. So that was as another neat turn of events in this case. So you never know when you may receive a phone call from an investigator that's working on a cold case that may be trying to seek out your DNA profile. It's not nefarious, but I do encourage anyone that receives a call like that to verify who they're speaking with. Call that sheriff's office that they say they're representing, or that police department, or that state agency. Verify that officer's employment. and then work with them if you're inclined to do so. It's extremely helpful. We can't do this job without the help of the public.
There's something specific about this case that maybe stuck out to you.
It was our only John Doe case that's lasted this long. So that makes it really interesting, and you really want to try and find that answer. My office number, 615-904-3045. And my email is rbrinkley@rcsotn.org. Any information would be greatly appreciated. And even information in another case. If you have something that you've just been wanting to get off your chest for a long time, give me a call or an email. I'll gladly speak with you.